Hello everyone and welcome to the ScratchRunning podcast, the official podcast of competitive browser gaming, where our motto is just stay hydrated, dude. Like, it's genuinely really important right now. Anyways.
Yeah!
As always, I'm your host, Kieran, and with me on the mic are my friends, Klebs and Lord.
Hello.
Hello. It's nice to be our friend, Kieran.
Yay!
It's nice.
It's so nice to be friends.
How's everybody doing today? How is the weather wherever you live?
I am overheating like the CPU in a Step Maniacs Deluxe cabinet.
It's sweltering, Nick Apfelord.
Sweltering.
The sun's rays shine down onto the concrete, and it warms it like a stove. You could crack an egg and take a wooden spatula and begin stirring it on the ground for a scrambled delight. Nick, it is quite hot.
I have two things to say to that. First
Yes.
of all, I am not a fan of wooden spatulas.
Whoa.
Like,
What, are you a plastic spatula guy? Huh?
that ever since I learned that yes, plastic spatula. But ever since I learned that like wooden like spoons or stuff like that you shouldn't put them into the dishwasher because they I don't know, through the heat and they soak up all the water. I don't even know.
Yeah,
how
it
to explain
damages
this
them.
in English.
They're not
But
dishwasher safe.
they're not dishwasher safe. Ever since then, I have I still use them because you know sometimes they're the right tool for it.
Because you're a hypocrite, Nick. Continue.
Because I'm a hypocrite, exactly. But every time I do it now, I'm like,
oh man, I'm not gonna be able to dishwash this.
I gotta wash this myself. And I've lived without a dishwasher for 1 year, and it wasn't hell or anything, but it was not just very inconvenient. A dishwasher, it does make a lot of sense.
Changes everything. Maybe I should invest in one.
Thought of this. Yeah. Just like washing machines. I don't know why we're not at the point yet where every home has like just a hole you throw your clothes in and it automatically does everything. I don't know, maybe I'm being
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It's been so many years.
I've never lived in a house without a washing machine.
I mean, I wouldn't want to. That's like the one thing you really don't want to live like without. Either way, the other thing is, how is it so hot where you live? Like here, we've had nothing but rainy days recently, and it's not looking great for the next few days. Maybe like a little bit of sun.
It rained yesterday, but we have found ourselves in the summer apparently. Okay,
Nick, you just tossed out a double whammy.
You guys want to hear a medium take?
All right, go ahead with your medium take, but I need to address afterwards Nick's allegations.
The summer months have moved. See, here's the thing. You know how there's a leap year every 4 years?
Yes.
I don't think those are taken into account when we decided that the calendar summer months were June, July, and August.
Oh, yeah.
So now we have summer weather in May and autumn weather in August. I think the summer months are moving backwards. I think May, June, and July are the new summer.
They might be. And I hope not, because I'm going to Croatia in late August, which would be really sad if that was if it was cold. But
to be fair, months, seasons, and weather are not real. It could be anything when you go.
They really can. I mean, April is like notorious for being literally the month where anything can happen.
Yeah.
But even like during the other months around it. Have we, by the way, has it truly come to this that we talk about the weather on the SRCast? Does it show?
This truly is a how is the weather moment. We talk once a month, dude.
Could it be that we are on 55 episodes of this
we have finally made
podcast?
All right, listen here.
Weather.
Poindexters. First of all, okay, I have 17 points to make right now. All right. Listen, we all live under the heat of the sun. The weather is a constant that cannot be avoided. Therefore, it is it is our duty, our moral duty, to check in on each other's weather sitch to make sure our fellow compatriots are not under duress of the sun. And if that leads into silly topics or wacky hijinks, I say good for us. But we shall not subject ourselves to criticism over the most mundane and human experience in existence. Secondly, Nick, you're deranged. Okay, a plastic spatula is going to put microplastics in all of your food every time you have to get a little bristly brush and wash it or put it in the dishwasher, and it's heating up and getting water. It's like probably black plastic too, which is going to lead to more BP. Yeah. That's not good, friend. Thirdly, what do you mean the sun's hot over there but not over here? We live in different parts of the planet. It's not going to be the same.
I can totally understand that, it's different for y'all.
Cloud coverage affects how much of the sun can actually get onto the ground.
I just kind of wish I got the weather y'all.
I'm
a big my good mood comes with the weather, I feel. And as it does probably for a lot of people, but then there are the people who say, oh, I hate summer. I hate it when it's hot. I don't know. I would, any day of the year, I would take that over, the blistering cold. The rain. Rain is always going to be there.
The pros
you know what I mean.
of summer are that the sun stays up all day, and it makes you feel nice. The cons of summer are the actual heat and humidity themselves.
A lot of emphasis on the humidity there.
Yeah.
The sun shining across your face is an excellent source of vitamin D, a key vitamin to keep you alive and keep you happy. In fact, a severe lack of it is empirically a source of depression, which is why
Swedish.
Many people get terribly depressed over the winter season. But when that sun starts coming back, ooh, that's a little joy in your pocket.
Very cool.
A little happiness in your life.
That's kind of awesome that the sun, the vitamin goes into your skin. What? I never understood how that worked. Does it just do work?
We're solar panels, I guess. I guess the vitamin is the radiation.
Is it like, in an evolutionary sense, how is it just we evolved to like being outside or in the sun? Because is this a thing where it had an evolutionary benefit for us, and that's why we evolved to like it?
Yes.
And feel happy through it? Or is it the other way around, where it's it's so essential to being an animal,
human.
I guess. I mean,
both is true.
Bugs living under a rock probably don't get happy when the sun's out.
I'm certain animals can make their own vitamin D. At least I believe so. I might be wrong. Or they just get it from eating other things. But essentially what it does is it helps, hey Google, what does it do? Promote calcium absorption in the gut and maintain adequate serum calcium and phosphate concentrates to enable normal bone mineralization and to prevent hypocalcemic tetany, if you understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely. Every single word. Every single word and letter, surely.
So I guess it's just something we got that helps, but you also don't want too much of it because it will destroy your body. So that's also why some people developed melanin when they lived in places that had a lot more sunlight, is because they don't want constant sun. And that's also why you have less melanin in places where there's less sunlight, because it helps absorb more sunlight.
This is true.
Also, put on that sunscreen. That's
put on the sunscreen, especially. Never mind. Especially if you get sunburned easily.
Yes. That's no good.
This is gonna sound so weird, but the sun is such a cool. I'm thinking of games now, of course, because this is still the SRCast, and we're
this is true.
We have to kind of reel this back in this
sure.
fish.
Speaking of video games, did you guys know that Super Fighter Return was going to have a demo On the 22nd of May, if you're listening to this...
Well, slow down, Kieran. Nick just had an epiphany that the sun was cool, and that I want to hear the through line of that. Me when I am an early hominid looking up at the sky, and there's a big orb.
I'm like, yo, but... Did you know that the sun is really... And the girl's like, right after the break. Have you heard about Super Fighter? No, I'm the one usually talking about Super Fighter Return, and I can totally understand. I can't think of anything else these last few days, and it's gonna be out already like for 2 weeks when this drops. So I hope our website didn't break yet, which is a thing, and also Scratch didn't kill us for it, and also that the game is fine and everybody's enjoying it. But what I wanted to say about the sun, which would sound really silly, I realize, but then, I don't know, I guess maybe I'll just,
Just say it.
I'll just bounce that off of you.
We're all silly here.
You tell me whatever you want about it. But symbolically, with all the stuff that the sun, represents, I think it's a really cool thing to put into your game. Because so many games or stories or whatnot have, like, the deities, right? Like a sun and a moon and whatnot. I have put much less emphasis on the sun in my games and much more on the moon. I don't know why. The moon is kind of cool too. Isn't there also a sun in Candle World?
Yes.
This is true. The uppercase sun.
Yeah, actually, only nerds put suns in their media, and I would never have the sun be a central focal point of my story. That's just
You're the biggest nerd of them all.
No, not, no. Candle World's all about symbolism, and like when you think about the sun, it's like the only reason anything is alive on our planet is because of the sun.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it
it's also like our biggest source of light, and light is a big thing on Candle World. So that's why it fit in pretty well.
Was that like a thing that you actually thought about, or was that?
Yeah, I mean, really
that's
early
why all
on.
Our self-inserts are plants.
Yeah, really early on, it was the whole thing was about like the shadows on the cave wall. Plato's allegory of the cave.
Yes.
And like the sun is that light, and the shadows are the reality that the denizens of Candle World observe.
Wow. That must have really resonated with you, that Plato's Cave thing. Because I gotta be honest, I only read about that. I don't even know how, through what. Maybe it was through the book I read, but
I thought it was about getting distracted by media and going outside is better or something.
Well, that's also a great way to see that. Nowadays, back then the people probably didn't have that thought, but nowadays there's a great metaphor to be or a great connection to
go outside.
But like when was the first time you stumbled upon that? That Plato's Cave thing.
So I learned about it a long time ago, but I learned more in depth about it in my like college civics class.
Yeah.
And something about it is that I'm not actually, I don't really believe in the Platonic ideals.
Yes.
Like, I don't actually think there is, like, the ultimate tree from, like, which all trees derive. I just think it's an interesting idea. And so I wanted to write a story about it. And I do believe that there is truth about a society having like a conceptual idea of a tree, and because that's what language is there is a word tree, and we can like some of us believe in what a tree is and what it isn't, and it's interesting to see that intersect with different like communities who might disagree on like what the color green is and stuff like that. I find that incredibly interesting, but I don't actually believe there's like a physical object that is the perfect tree that's somewhere like stored in our brain waiting to be found. Or like if you could dissect the brain, you would find.
If we all draw a tree right now, we're probably gonna end up with different looking trees.
Exactly, but we all will look at that item and we'll say that's a tree, and so that's cool. That like that's how brains work, and that's how language works. And so I wanted to write a story about that. But again, I don't, there's no real physical object out in the universe or some sort of metaphysical space that is this like cartoonish plastic tree with a brown, like, trunk and a green circle, and that is the end-all be-all tree or something.
That's another great callback to the wooden or plastic spatula.
I think a wooden tree would be best to use in cooking.
Wooden trees are not dishwasher safe.
But a plastic tree gives you microplastics.
Yes, you gotta be careful.
You get micro woods from the wood. Wood is probably safe to eat, actually.
Wood is probably safer to eat than plastic, I would assume. Yes.
Important correction in case anyone tries it at home.
We are not endorsing the consumption of wood chips.
We're not?
No, I definitely did not eat a bowl of wood chips with milk this morning. I did not enjoy a delicious and scrumptious bowl of wood. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. The government is telling the truth. You cannot eat wood.
That's what they want you to think. So it's like the thing where they say you can eat anything once. Yeah. But
you can eat anything once, fools, when I show them the International Space Station.
What?
Good luck with that, friend.
I know, it is a bit big, actually.
Yeah, exactly. You
How many
can't eat
times
everything.
have you consumed the International Space Station?
0 times, because it can't be consumed.
It's in space.
Yeah, how are you getting there? You can't eat anything. Is that the only thing? I've given you a counterexample.
Mars.
Even when I showed them the Horsehead Nebula, good luck with that one, idiot.
Yeah.
Good luck eating that. Yeah.
Well, that's one reason to go to space.
To get back to a sensical topic for a second, just for a second, not for
just
a long.
For a second.
I know we're not very keen on that, but I find it so interesting that every time I've been like thinking of, and I'm really not a big story like telling guy. I think I've said that before. I struggle with building stories, which is probably like the one thing that will hold me back from releasing like a really, really good game, I feel. But when I think about how you approach this with Candle World Collapse, where you had this concept that you wanted to put into a different context, but kind of like take this, you take this concept and you somehow share it with people in a different way than it has already been shared, and maybe shed some new light on it and whatnot. When I've been making stories, I always felt like I've just been piecing things together that just, I had something already laying around and I've just tried to find the connecting pieces, and sometimes that felt really like satisfying in a way that, okay, yeah, this does make a lot of sense somehow in this context of this world and how it
sounds like Taranga lore.
It is absolutely. And I guess with SFRT it was even the same thing. You're not going to see any lore really in the demo,
not in the demo,
by the way, and they know that now that they've played it. And you're not I don't know if you're going to see a lot of lore in the main game, maybe a little bit through Journey mode.
It's a fighting game.
Yeah. I mean, Clabs and I, even through the SR Devs episode that came out that you did not hear yet, Kieran, but that you're gonna hear by the point this releases.
I definitely will.
We also talked about how certain games just aren't fit for having story built into them, and that would kind of take away from the experience instead of enriching it. But now I need to realize what my point was here.
Well, I heard something there I think is poignant, Nick.
Oh, please do.
The human brain loves patterns. We are pattern machines.
Big pattern recognition fan.
Exactly. That's me. I am the biggest pattern recognition fan. If pattern recognition has no fans, I am dead.
No, is that pattern recognition from Candle World?
Absolutely. And so you're talking about, you just have like these strewn about ideas that maybe don't have any good initial connection to the story or the world, and you can just fit them in, and you kind of churn the brain machine for a little bit, and maybe you just need to make a tiny couple modifications, and it fits perfectly, and it feels amazing, and it's like it was always meant to be in the story. And I think that's just something that our brains do that is wonderful. I think no matter what you come up with, you can fit it into a story as long as you put in a little bit of work to make it make sense. And if it betrays an aspect of your story, just make it an exception. You know, every rule has an exception. So, you know, if you have a grounded, realistic, gritty world and you're like, I want this world to have like sentient rabbits that like have arrows, bows and arrows, and everything else is just a medieval setting, but there's rabbits that are going to war with humans. You know, it's like, that sounds cool. That just works. Just make it work, make people accept it in your world. And, you know, if you want to, like, show, like, the lore, you could have it so, like, long ago, like, a human cursed a rabbit or something. And that it's just fine. You know, if you're going to have magic in your setting, that works.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have it be some sort of god, like, created these rabbits or, like, was mad at the hunters that were hunting these rabbits. There's so many ways you can just make any concept work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're right. There's, like, no point in overthinking it or thinking that it's a bad thing to do it that way. For some reason, everything just got a lot quieter in my ears. I don't know why. Like, there was this static, like, forever. But now it just went away randomly.
You just lost your hearing at this very moment.
I thought for a second. No, I can hear you perfectly fine. I can hear you perfectly fine. But I can hear you clearer than ever, in fact. But for a moment, I was like, did my computer just, like, did my sound just go out or something? But no. I don't know why. So
it just
I'm sorry
fixed itself. You just got a random update.
My words reached you, Nick, and now I'm here in your home. That's why you hear me so clearly. Oh, yeah. Hello, Nick.
Hello. No,
you can hear me in your home because you got the headphones on still.
That is true. But yeah, it's as you say, Clabs. I guess there's no right or wrong way to do it as long as something comes out of it. Just I'd be really interested to try making a story the way you did it as like an exercise or something.
Yeah.
Where I actively, you know, take something that I'm really an idea or concept or a metaphor that I'm really fond of and, you know, put a spin on it, I guess.
I encourage it. I think it's a good exercise and it helps keep things grounded to exactly what you're trying to tell.
Yeah.
I'd recommend it.
Talking about making games and hopefully not overthinking them, but I had this thought in my head for a while now where and Karen, you can maybe relate to this.
Maybe.
When I thought about like how the content making process for ScratchRunning, the YouTube specifically, is and how that is compared to working on a game. And I noticed something about myself in that, and it's that when I'm working on a game, that's like the polar opposite to what it feels like to me working on a video. Where when I'm working on a game, I try to put like as much as I can into it, and it never really stops getting not boring, but I try to make it as good as possible. Whereas when I'm making a video,
when you make a video, you've only got so much footage, so...
Yeah, but like with editing and everything, you can do so much. You can transform like a really boring 5-minute recording into, I don't know, like...
into a really good 4-minute video.
Yeah, but I never... For me, maybe it's the time I dedicate to that.
Some of my videos are better than others, and it's just about the effort that I put into the editing.
Yeah.
It's on a scale from the Monster World series, which is basically completely unedited, to the Jerry Lawson videos.
Absolutely.
Which is those are our best videos. Go watch those. Go play Lawson Levels Gallery before it's too late.
Did you have a feeling that was like there was a real merit to that, to putting more work into it? I guess those are the videos you really rewatch, right? The ones that are edited, and sometimes I just watch the shorts of the characters again.
Dude, those are actually my best videos.
Those are really cool. But I just wonder about myself what it is with these two different workflows and why I can be so like, and I try to not be too like perfectionistic.
Yeah, content doesn't really need to be perfect. It could be good or great.
Yeah.
But it would take me too long to make a perfect video.
Yeah. I don't even think it's a possibility.
It's not possible.
It's like with artwork, you just, it's a snapshot of this moment. It's not the best thing you're ever going to do because you get better at it. And it's not going to be the worst thing you'll ever do if you put in the work.
True.
But Claps, do you have a similar thing? I know you're not creating video content for ScratchRunning or whatever, but do you have a thing where you can compare, like, okay, when I'm working on a game, it's like I have a completely different way to look at it as, I don't know, maybe with artwork or your comics, or I don't know.
Yeah. I would say the two distinct creative exercises I do are DMing tabletop role-playing games.
Oh, yes, of course.
And creating a video game or like a comic. And I think when I'm doing a tabletop role-playing game, I'm more interested in the fact that this is a story I'm telling with other people. And so a big part of that process is like hearing what other people like and trying to cater the entire story around like everyone else. I want to have everyone else having a great time.
That's awesome.
And that's how I'm having a good time, is I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to facilitate everyone's ideas and bring them together. Exactly. I'm hosting. I feel like when I'm making a game or a comic, I don't care about that, really.
I'm having fun now.
A game can just be played multiple
I'm
times.
making it because it's going to be fun for me. I've always done that, and I've had this account for, 13 years now, and there's a reason
3 months.
I didn't have a lot of followers for a very long time, is because the only way you can be on Scratch this long is if you aren't trying to just appeal to other people, and you're just making something you're happy with and that you like, and hopefully people will come around and check it out and they'll like it in the same way you do. But if you try to fish for people to watch your stuff, then you tie your self-worth to just random people on the internet. And
you're not gonna be happy that way. Not on Scratch.
Especially on Scratch, you can't even
Scratch.mit.edu.
You're not making money off of that. You're not increasing your quality of life. I understand if you want to fish for an audience on TikTok or YouTube because you want to have money and you don't care as much about the things you're creating. But even those people get really burnt out over time. On Scratch, that's ludicrous. On
Scratch, you just make projects.
Cue the classic question. We're not making any money with this? No.
And so to answer your question, I guess it's probably easier for me to do the tabletop role-playing game in a certain way because I'm connecting with other people and other people are putting work into it. And so it's not just on me to create this experience. And so often those creations are almost like self-fulfilling. Like people are invested in it, so they make content for it. Meanwhile, if I'm making something for myself, it's really just me doing it. And so sometimes it can be hard to be self-motivating.
Definitely. Also, I just realized 14 years on Scratch for myself. Holy smokes. Like when you said that earlier.
That is a very long time.
Yeah.
When you said I don't know how many years you have to kind of just do it for the fun of it to be on this website for so long, and that's
right.
My account is 9.5 years old, but I don't count because I don't upload. That's Scratcher.
I haven't made a lot of Candle World content recently, and basically the activity on my account is like a comment every other day now. And so if the entire reason I was making Scratch stuff was for the Candle World community, then I would be so immensely depressed right now, right? I'd be no one's interacting, no one's doing anything. No.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing that. The only reason I would be sad, I am sad for some reason now, is just because there's people who are in the Candle World community who miss other people in the community. They liked participating in this event with other people, and now those other people are gone, because the story is basically over. Until Gumball Group 2 is out. And Yes and No is a fun filler, but it doesn't seem like, it's not like you can interact with the characters So it's not, it doesn't feel as personal. It's just sort of like this weird little lore, strange project. So it's natural that the community is slowed down quite a bit.
Yeah, no, I can understand.
That is normal.
It's an interesting thing to consider. I can imagine it would be the same thing to me if like modders working on Monster World mods would just kind of stop. And sometimes there are like times where there's not really a lot happening, and I don't really mind.
It is beautiful that Monster World 1 has mods in the first place, and 2, they're pretty recent actually. When was Arcane Plus? That was only a couple months ago.
I think like the most recent update was on, let's have a look here.
Actually no, Arcane Plus was 2022.
No, yes, but like the most recent update was in April. End of April.
Buff Blizzard to 8 damage. Still getting balance patches.
Play the Arcane Plus mod if you're playing Monster World.
Play Arcane Plus. This is the best version of the game, dude.
It's the best. It's Monster World.
It's the Project 7 Monster World, dude.
I should just make I should post a link to the Arcane Plus mod on Monster World and say, hey,
there's so much
check this one
love for this 6-year-old Scratch game.
There was this idea modders had, and that I also shared once, where they would come together to create one like mega mod containing all the like cool characters that have been made so far into one singular mod. That would be quite crazy.
Yeah. Arcane Plus balance patches with the Oracle in there.
Oh boy.
Who else? What other modded characters? And
there's the Hunter, I think it's called.
Yeah, Slime King, Hunter Oracle, and Arcane.
Have you thought about taking these mods and like polishing or like making your own version of the artwork? Not necessarily polishing.
I have done exactly that for the Arcane mod.
Putting it into the base game, you know?
Yes, I have talked to Chief Justice about this, and I'm like really for updating the preview version and putting in Arcane with my updated artwork in there to honor all the like great changes. The only thing keeping me from putting it into Turanga in the end is not that it's like that it doesn't meet the standards for the characters, because Arcane absolutely does, but mostly because for like of story reasons. I don't know how I would the entire story right now is really, 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 really
it's tied to the characters.
Tied to these two characters. They are like absolute like they are pillars of this story, and the reason, like I couldn't even think of a third one. I had a lot of ideas for a third character, but I couldn't even think of a third one that would make as much sense.
Nicholas. Nickelodeon. Sit down with me. Take a seat.
I'm here. Hello.
Take a seat. Hi.
All right. I've been standing this whole time. Let me
sit down. You've been standing. Your legs must be tired. You've had to shift your weight not to put stress on your back. Nick, have you ever heard of an excellent game called Lego Star Wars?
I have. I love that. Can I give a quick anecdote before you continue?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I used to have that game borrowed from a friend who had a Polish version of it. So I played Lego Star Wars in Polish as a kid, and I have a few names still in my brain in Polish, but I could not tell you what certain missions are called.
Well,
but
Nick,
that's just a funny thing.
When you played Polish Lego Star Wars, did you ever go back and replay a level and were like, oh, I could be Ghost Yoda or Boba Fett or whatever the Polish versions are?
No. What is that little droid that like?
R2-D2?
No, there's like a really dumb it's just a box with legs.
Oh, Gonk, a Gonk droid.
I love Gonk Droid.
You go replay the first level as Gonk Droid. When you replay the first level as Gonk Droid, do you say, why is Luke a Gonk Droid in this? This totally ruins the story. I'm unimmersed from the gameplay. Or do you go, this is sick, I'm playing a Gonk Droid and I'm fighting Darth Vader as a Gonk Droid, and my brother is playing like a droidica. We're out here, we're droiding it up on Coruscant. You know, you don't have, you're adding characters to Taranga. Just be like they're bonus characters. You could have a goof character. You know, again, it's about, don't let the story just take away from the fun, because then what's even the point of the story? Especially if it doesn't have to actually impact the story. If you do a playthrough as like a silly joke character or a really difficult character. Why not call them like mercenaries, right? Like the mercenary playthrough is you hired someone else to go do the journey for you or something, and then you play the mercenary.
And then at the end, when you defeat the final boss, and your character has a little moment where they realize, you know, where they get told the secrets of the universe and what their place is in everything, Gonk Droid will just be there, like, yes, yes.
Maybe Darth Vader was Gonk Droid's father all along.
Is that not amazing?
The savior of the universe.
Is it not amazing?
I think what your point is really valid. Your point is extremely valid. I don't want to take anything away from that.
Oh, absolutely. You don't have to totally agree with me.
The thing is, you're talking about Lego Star Wars. If it was a Star Wars game, I think they would be less inclined to put Gonk Droid in there for a mission. But Lego, come on, there's like, have you seen the Lego movie? Everything, there's nothing like.
All right. Point taken.
I played the Lego movie video game on PS3.
All right. Then let me then take it back to the point I was trying to make, which I understand what you're saying. It's like it's a silly game, so of course they'll let you like replay.
Just have a guest character.
You can feasibly put these characters in, especially when like the story elements of the game, you're thinking about like even doing it in like a novel or a comic, maybe even separated from the game. You know, at that point, if you just make it clear that when you select one of the bonus characters that it's like extra, like it's just like a fun extra side party mini game. You're opening up Mario Party 8, you're going to the extras tent, and you're playing the modes that didn't quite make the cut for the mini games in the main series. Like that's only a bonus that doesn't distract from the actual game or story you're trying to tell.
Was Mario Kart 8 the Star Carnival thing?
Mario Party 8. Welcome to the Star Carnival.
Welcome to the Star Carnival. I played that game once.
Dude with the hat. I remember him.
He is the hat.
Dude,
I love the extra games tent.
That dude is the progenitor of the amazing digital circus.
Yes, I had the exact same thought just now. I mean, it's also such like what is it, like a cliche showrunner? Do you call them a showrunner?
Yeah, I get like a magical circus. It feels like a cliche, but I can only point to two. And that is the Star Carnival owner in Mario Party 8 and Kane from the Amazing Digital Circus.
Let me pull them up both here.
Put the image side by side. They both have a zany little like sidekick character. His is his hat.
He's not on the dang
on the cover
thing. He's not on the cover. Oh, there we go. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Okay, and then we have...
He's even, he's just a mouth too, like, you know?
He is just a mouth. That is close.
See what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
I am,
so right.
Definitely.
I can't remember if the hat talks separately from
it does
the MC.
talk.
The hat does talk.
I've only played
separately.
MP8 a few times.
I have been playing it recently. I have the actual DVD, but I have been playing. I have a modded Wii I've been playing recently, and we've been playing a bunch of Mario Party 8.
I did play this a lot too. In the extra modes, they had the one where you're like driving a hyperspeed hover car.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Remember that one?
That was the Cosmic Slalom, or whatever.
Yes, that one was really fun. If I like, it could be nostalgia. But I have that, I have a fond memory of that. Also, the cutting the rope cut the rope thing.
That one's just, I hate that one. It's luck-based.
High octane, not high octane, but like highly stressful, but somehow fun.
My favorite Mario Party is 4. I've got that one on the GameCube.
Mario Party 4? What was that one?
I
mean, just a Mario Party game. At that point,
it's a Mario Party game on the GameCube.
Yeah.
My favorite mini game is the one where you're on the rocks, and it's like a little bit of like a battle royale, and you have to like 1v1 someone, and then they 1v1 someone, and then you go on the big rock and you fight. Yeah. I'm great at that one.
Every Mario Party has at least one fighting mini game where you can jump kick.
Yep.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
Gonk Droid.
I think we're Gonk Droid. Gonk
Droid.
Good old Gonk Droid. Everybody loves Gonk Droid, dude. We were talking about. Okay, let's reel it back. Okay.
Yeah.
We got Gonk Droid.
We
got Taranga.
The main point we were making is whether or not we would add bonus characters to Taranga.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the bonus character stuff. Yeah. The bonus stuff in Mario Party 8.
I am totally for that.
Yeah.
Like for having bonus characters if the .json allows it.
Make them unlockable.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
If you need to.
Yeah, if there's room, like again, don't do like I know you're like almost out of room, but
I was thinking of that was before I had the the entire vision for how the story if I mean now at this point we're not even sure if story is going to be that big of a deal anymore, but I had the idea for weekly runs, like seeded runs, where you would sometimes get like a run where you play as Cecil or something, or you play as Delina, the tutorial girl, or it's just something funky like that where you would have a weekly run that would be just a little bit different, and they wouldn't even like I wouldn't have to think of an entirely new set of abilities for them. I would just pick together the ones that we already have that would fit with this character,
Guys, I just got an email from speedrun.com.
Oh?
Your 45-second world record of Sunset Shore, which was never even WR anyway, has been beaten by 0 minutes and 8 seconds. The new record is 37.
All right. Kieran, it has been a good podcast. We'll see you next time.
See you the next time.
You have a record to beat.
I have a record to beat. Speaking of records, why don't we flip it over to the ScratchRunning podcast Q&A box?
That is the greatest segue ever.
Disc number 2.
That is B-side. Let's go over to the B-side of this podcast.
Let's go over to...
That was incredible.
The B-side. So, our first question is from Comic Guy 35. You know him. You like him. Are the fighters really super, though?
That was not...
That's how they typed it.
That's how they typed it. They typed the go.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, we did already reply with they're fighting to become the most super.
Is that lore?
Yeah.
That is... Like
that's what the tournament's all about.
It's not it. So Redacted is a character who will play a big role in this.
Ooh, it's not me, or is it?
It's not Clabs. Clabs, you're not.
It's not
it could be
responsible for the SFRT. This is lore that hasn't even been written yet, and I should probably discuss this with Pybro. But I have in my mind. Super Fighter Tournament and Super Fighter Re-Tournament are the same tournaments, or they have been, but I have started to really like the idea that the Super Fighter Tournament was the thing that happened long ago, and that was just like all fun and games, but the Super Fighter Re-Tournament is the thing that now has to happen because of lore reasons that I
gotta rewatch the Return trailer.
Yeah, and so I'm wondering if it's going to be like an actual, redoing of the tournament for reasons that will be maybe revealed in some way, shape, or form. But they are fighting to become the most super.
They are fighting.
Maybe face an even more super threat.
Here's my plot prediction, okay? Every 100 years, the Super Fighter Tournament takes place. because an entity from another dimension approaches the universe, intending to destroy it. So the greatest warriors from all the planets and all the nations fight to win the gauntlet, and then go on to fight the ancient entity. But there's an agent of evil has entered the tournament to win and to let the destruction take the universe. That's my
really far in bracket. It has to be stopped.
It's starting to use teching. We need to stop this evil force. No,
we need to DI out of its combos, dude.
The reason all the characters look the same as the ones in Super Fighter Tournament 1 is because it's their ancestors.
Oh, yes. Yes, exactly. Yes.
And it's all their offspring and offspring's offspring and great-grandchildren just kind of coincidentally look the same.
The exact same.
Yeah.
Except Phantom's ancestor got a cool jacket.
Phantom.
Yeah. Cool jacket.
Phantom found a really cool jacket that he liked, and he just went with it.
Yeah.
And his ancestor looks down on him, and he's like,
"This guy got that. He's got that on.
He's got that on." Do we have another question?
It's just one about the project itself. How does the character movement work? It's a Python script. I haven't
At
seen
first,
it.
I thought they were talking about SFRT. It's WASD, but no. Why my head is, or my little icon is bobbing
going
up and down. Yeah, when I say pop, 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 that is because I hope you know. Even though Astro made this, not only Astro but also Clabs and also Arcs.
That's right.
I mean, it's the project of all you three. But, was there like who wrote the program, or were you all like in a call and then?
Well, if you'll remember, this is a while ago. You and I talked a long time ago, and I was the one who wanted like this to happen. So the first iteration was to take everyone's recordings and run them an hour at a time on Scratch, with a list that would constantly update with the volume detection script.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so that meant that the computer would have to like bake in the audio in a room where everyone had to be quiet for hours at a time. And it was like, that's a terrible idea. Let's not do that. So I first tried to see if I could make this in Java, but Java isn't great at analyzing audio files.
Interesting.
And so Astro came on board, and Arcs basically was just emotional support through all this, but also helped with, I think, the normalizing script at the end, maybe.
Oh, that is cool.
But Astro helped basically. Me and Astro were on a call and made the work together to make the actual program that would, rather than listening to the audio over an hour, would just analyze the audio and look at the volume and output a list
in a split second.
Exactly. And it's normalized, so like it'll look at the highest volume and the lowest volume, and that it'll pick that as like the peaks of how much the character should wobble at max speed and how it should wobble at minimum speed. And then we just put it into Scratch, and then I made a Scratch script that interprets it and outputs a number based on what the current second is. And so at first we just had to basically glow little icons to show we were talking. Yeah. And then we used the Codebreakers meeps that I made.
The meeps.
And the meeples.
Is that what they're called? I always called them icons.
I've been called them guest icons.
They're meeples.
They're meeples.
Oh, from the board games. Yeah.
Yeah, they're simplified versions of the crew. I made the original 20. I believe that's how many there were, and then I think Kieran edited his to make it like more fit him. And that's kind of just how the wind blew. That's how the cookie broke down into
the cookie crumbled.
Didn't make the Halloween costume ones?
I did.
And then I tweaked my current one. That happened.
Heck yeah. I mean,
that's a great
if you want to
character.
see the old one, that was like, look at the first like SR devs, not SR devs, sorry, SR dice. the first SR Dice still had the glowing icons.
Yeah, there were podcast episodes that had just the circle behind our profile pics.
Yeah. That was cool too.
But... And then when the crew finished the Python script, we switched to meeps.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about actually at the start of this episode that we've come so far, because when we used to have like 5 guests on the podcast, and we all have like a similar like kind of tenor, baritone range, and our voices are all like masculine. I'm non-binary, but my voice is obviously masculine.
Yeah.
And so,
and you sound like each other. We got those comments a while back. Like, why does Karen kind of sound like TNT?
Exactly. And so, like, we'd have to go down the line and be like, hi, I'm Clabs. You could listen to my voice for a second so you know it's me. And it's like, hi, I'm Nick. This is my voice. Try to pay attention, jingling the keys in front of your head.
You guys know who I am.
But now that we have the little guys, it's like those are the characters talking. They have an image of who we are, and they just look at the little fellas, and that's who we are.
Little creatures.
Little cretins, little meeples.
Yeah, it's very throwable.
I'm trying to figure out when the first episode was with the little meeples. I'm looking at 38, by the way, which has the coolest thumbnail I've ever made for any SRCast. The one where we're in the tour bus.
Yeah.
And Quiet is trying to pour in milk through a bag. And Karen is reading the Splatoon.
The world.
The world and the
YouTube version of that thumbnail is 16:9 and there's a squid next to the octopus.
Yes. What a great thumbnail.
37 has the icons in the thumbnail, so it's got to be before that.
I really want a poll where people tell me about their favorite SRCast thumbnail ever. And maybe I'm the only one who cares.
We can just make that the question. That's the question of the month. What's your favorite SRCast?
The SRCast thumbnails are all awesome.
They are, but some are just a little bit cooler. Either way, I'm just really happy we have these, and can't thank Clabs, Arcs, and Astro enough for that.
Yippee.
To help out with some actual programming for once on a website that is for programming.
The programming.
Couldn't be me.
I was looking through our profile. I was like, man, it's really cool. We have so much awesome art, and it looks so professional. Yes. And then I remember Klongo 4 drew one of the thumbnails.
Dude, my face on this stick, man, dude. That's hard. That's the Marina smile.
I mean, not to put Klongo 4 down, but, I don't know why he insisted on drawing it, but...
He was really adamant about it too.
He was. He said he wanted it on his resume.
He thought he was him.
You know what's the worst part? Klongo took like so long for that. We had to delay the episode. It was gonna come out in March as like a double episode, but then Klongo just took so long with the thumbnail. It was like finishing touches. I gotta put some finishing touches on there. It's gotta be perfect. And I was like, dude, it's Stickman. How bad could it be? Or how and then he that's a Klongo moment right there.
That's a moment.
Don't invite Klongo to your podcast ever unless you want him to talk about
soap
or talk to his mom on the podcast.
I forgot about that.
That is one of my favorite bits ever. If you wanna, the SR, where is it?
It's 32.
SRCast Animated Contest 3 has the clip, like the edited clip.
Someone animated that?
Nobody animated that, and I'm a bit mad. But that has the clip, and
at
that
least
is
the announcements have the clips.
One of my favorite edited bits. Where it goes, this is my ringtone.
He would have that ringtone.
He would. Oh, I felt really clever in that.
That was amazing. That was a good silly episode.
And if you, I can spill the beans now because it's been so long and nobody believes Klongo is an actual person anyway.
But Klongo is a real person.
Klongo forecast fell off. Not gonna lie.
No,
his last comment was about a year ago.
Clap's honest question, may I?
Skill issue.
May I?
I don't know what you're asking, and I think it's time we reel in the episode.
I just want to say how I edited the phone call.
I mean, that was a real phone call, so I don't know. I mean,
all right,
thank you guys so much for watching, listening. This has been the ScratchRunning podcast. I'm not your host. Who is?
I'm the host.
Oh, Kieran.
I'm the host. I'm Kieran K-Trav258 Travis. I've been here the whole time.
It's just a recording of us, the conversation we had before. Just edit it.
Now stop.
See you the next time, y'all.
The government.
The recording is now stopped.